Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we have a topic about excretion in different animals. You can say that excretion in the invertebrates. Here in this topic, we will discuss excretion in Hydra, in Planaria, excretion in earthworm, and in cockroach. So let's see. First of all, we'll discuss excretion in the Hydra. Hydra belongs to phylum Nidaria. These are triploblastic animal having two layers of the body, ectoderm and the endoderm. The mechanism of excretion is that they have no specialized excretory organ. The waste product simply diffuses into isosmotic surrounding, and the waste product includes ammonia and the other diffusible gases. Simply, the waste material discharges out from the body. In the diagram, it shows two layers and exchange of the gases take place through the process of diffusion. In Planaria, they belong to Phylum Platyhelminthes. These are the flatworms animals and the acoelomate. These are present in the aquatic environment and having three layers in the body, so these are considered as triploblastic. They have a special structure of excretion known as the Protonephridia. The simpler tubular excretory system, Protonephridium, is also called a flame cell. The network of closed tubules without the internal opening, and these tubules spread throughout the body, and each branch ends in a cellular setup called as the flame cell. The flame cell has a tuft of cilia. The cilia are minute hair-like structure and look like a flickering flame. Therefore, these cells are called the flame cell. The movement of these cilia is just like the flame. The mechanism of excretion shows that the movement of cilia propels interstitial fluid into the tubular system. The tubular system waste out or remove out into the excretory ducts, and these ducts open to the exterior through several nephridiopores. The nitrogenous waste in the freshwater flatworms are the very dilute urine containing ammonia. Parasitic flatworms as an isotonic to the host environment, and their mainly function is to dispose the nitrogenous waste. Here include some examples: rotifers, which belong to phylum Rotifera, some annelids, and the larvae of the phylum Mollusca. The diagram shows that in the flatworms they have cilia-like structures. These cilia are gathered in a form of tuft, and the movement is like the flickering flame of candle, and they collect the waste material from the cavity and move out through the duct. Excretion in the earthworm. These are triploblastic animals and coelomates, and they are related to phylum Annelida. Body is metamerically segmented, and the tubular excretory system is present in the earthworm known as the Metanephridia. In the each segment of the earthworm has a pair of Metanephridia. This system has internal ciliated opening called a nephrostome. This internal ciliated opening collects waste material from the body, from the interstitial fluid, from the coelom, and from the nephrostome. When this waste material collected, the nephridium becomes a tube which becomes complicated loop-like structure, and this loop convoluted structure finally tubes ends into a bladder-like structure, and this bladder opens to the exterior by another opening known as the nephridiopore. The first opening is known as the nephrostome. Second opening is known as the nephridiopore in each segment. The mechanism of excretion. The nephrostome is immersed in the coelomic fluid and enveloped or covered by a network of blood capillaries. The nephrostome collects coelomic fluid. As the fluid moves along the tubule epithelium, the skin of the internal structure reabsorbs the salt from the lumen and sent to the blood vessels surrounding the nephridium. The blood capillaries reabsorbs water as well as salt, and the remaining material is the urine containing nitrogenous wastes, which include small amount of water, ammonia, urea. So these are excreted out from the body. Is a diagram. The body is metamerically segmented, and each chamber they have a ciliated opening known as a nephrostome, which collect waste material and send to the tube-like structure. And this tube is a loop-like structure, convoluted structure, surrounded by the blood capillaries, and finally open into the bladder-like structure. This bladder removes nitrogenous waste through the nephridiopore. So nephrostome collect the waste material and nephridiopores remove the waste material from the body in the case of earthworm. Excretion in the cockroach. It is an insect and belong to phylum Arthropoda. These are the terrestrial arthropods, particularly in the case of insect class Insecta. The excretory systems are the Malpighian tubules. Malpighian tubules are the specialized structure, minute tube-like structure that collect the waste material from the body. The proximal end of the tubes opens into the beginning of the hindgut, while the distal end is the blind. The circulatory fluid of the open circulatory system is known as the hemolymph. As in cockroaches or insects, they don't have specialized circulatory system, so they have open circulatory system no blood vessels are present, and the circulating fluid is known as the hemolymph. The Malpighian tubules remove nitrogenous waste from the hemolymph. These are the only excretory structure in the animals kingdom that is associated with the digestive system. Here's the diagram. The digestive system of the cockroach is present. From the crop, there is a gizzard and there is a mesenteron or midgut. In the connection of the midgut and between the hindgut, there are the Malpighian tubules are present. These Malpighian tubules collect waste material from the body and remove out through the rectum and discharge with the help of fecal material. The mechanism of excretion. The tubular structure collects excretory products from the hemolymph in the sinuses, and the epithelium lining of the tubule transports the solutes, including salts and nitrogenous waste, from the hemolymph into the lumen of the tubule. Here the metabolic waste is the uric acid that is formed, and fluid that enters the hindgut, it reaches to the rectum. Rectum reabsorbs most of the salt and water back to the body, and nitrogenous waste material, which is uric acid, is removed with a very least amount of water. Nitrogenous waste are excreted as solid excreta in the form of crystals of uric acid along with the waste material. The kind of adaptation in the excretion resulted in the success of these animals on the land with acute shortage of water. So these are the invertebrates that excrete through the different methods. With this, thank you students.